My name is Prashant, and I'm parenting coach for last few years. We have a website, you can see it on the screen, inspiredparenting.in, a lot of parenting resources you can indulge in. And we are doing this quite regularly now. Let's talk parenting on Saturdays, between 6:15 to 6:45. We can book that, almost every Saturday we have a session. Um, so today we're going to talk about lockdown, a parenting challenge, and one of the challenge will be, the gadgets overuse, and that actually needs a much longer discussion. So we can talk about it today, start it, and we can discuss more details next week, and we can have an exclusive session only for children and gadgets. Yeah, in fact, I've already shared one session we had with Rishi Gurukulam school parents, and that recording is already shared. But if you want more, discuss more of your concerns, we can do that next weekend. All right, making a start, a lockdown challenge, right? Next. So, number one, yeah, safety is everybody's concern. Okay, and the strategy basically I have here is I tell my daughter, "Hum tumhare baap hai." Okay, of course it's a more of a in a spirit where we have that kind of relationship, and so you need to work towards building that relationship first, where when you use your veto power, okay, because when it comes to safety, children will want to go out and want to do things with their friends, and which is not very safe these days. Okay, so they might not want to wash their hands regularly. um, Anything with regards to safety, we have to kind of put our foot down, and then that's the way to go. Basically, there's no compromise, and uh, to do this, basically we need to have that discussion in terms of, let's say, awareness about corona. Yeah, importance of washing your hands, why we shouldn't go out, why it's not, it is important not to play with friends, even meeting them is not a good idea these days, socializing basically. Or what kind of norms needs to be followed in case we have to. So there, have that dialogue, have that aram say, sometimes children might not want to go through the lecturing, but take a time, like evening, before sleeping, sit with them, have a concerned tone. Yeah, where when it comes to this, making them aware that it's not a situation where we have that liberty today. Tomorrow we might, and so we will take care of these things no matter what. Okay, and during daytime, let's say if they are not following, you need to put your foot down. Okay, and say if you have to force them, you know they want to go out and you want to force them to stay inside, you have to force them and allow them to cry. Okay, and there's a way in which we need to be with them when they are crying or angry. That's there's a tantrum management. There's a link I can share with you how we can do tantrum management. It's all about being with them, being with their emotions, and still allowing them to not listening to them, not following what they are asking for. There's a way in which you need to handle it, but when it comes to safety, basically you might have to use your veto power. Okay, so to keep it not that hard, have that kind of communication prior to using that power, so that would help. Okay, so that's for safety. Now habits and hygiene would be our biggest concern. Now this is again kind of getting critical now. So there will be two different types of habits. There are not that kind of a health hazard type of habits, and there will be like organizing things and all. There are different kind of habits, okay, which are not that risky. So when it comes to health, again, I kind of tend to use my veto power. Okay, if it's not happening when it is supposed to happen. So I'll tell you these days I don't say good morning to our daughter. Okay, the first thing that I ask when I meet her in the morning: did you brush? Okay, did you take a bath? Did you fold your sheet? So I have a checklist. Did you fill water in the bottles? Did you keep the vessels in place? Did you wash? Did you do the dishes last night? At times I ask her, and if that's not happening, then I tell her, first things first, let's do this. Okay, children will forget. Okay, I'll come to following a habit chart in a bit, but children will forget, and the only way to handle these habits is just give them reminders. Okay, if required, have a reminder for yourself and give them reminders. In our habit discussion last time, we discussed, right? For children to have that long-term perspective and be motivated for having a habit and doing it is a very long shot. There's too much to expect. Yeah, it's not there in terms of capability in their brain. So we have to work towards this. Not that not work towards it, work towards it with an understanding that it is difficult for them. So have very low expectations, okay, and just keep reminding them, and hold them. So first things first. Yeah, you're not doing anything else unless you do this. Okay, you're not going to have breakfast. Easy for a father, yes, of course. For a mother, might be difficult. बच्चे ने खाना नहीं खाया तो गड़बड़ है. For a mother, I understand, but you can do that for her homework. Okay, अगर homework नहीं किया है तो कोई problem नहीं है, खाना खाने दो. लेकिन घर के काम नहीं किए हैं, chores नहीं किए हैं, तो hold them. Okay, food is not that important. Then घर के काम और hygiene habits, इसको पहले करने दो. Okay, I'm not talking about organizing also. मैं general hygiene habits की बात कर रहा हूँ. वो पहले करने दो. घर की सफाई पहले करने दो. Okay, क्योंकि these things will enable your child for life. Okay, कल के दिन कोई help नहीं रहेगी. They will be able to stay healthy. Okay, बिना खाने के भी. So don't worry, बच्चे ने खाना नहीं खाया है. ये चीजों की आदत होना ज्यादा important है. या और भूख लगेगी तो बच्चा खाएगा ही वैसे भी. तो don't worry about food. बच्चे को भूख लगने दो, खाना खाने दो जितना खाना है. And yeah, don't stock junk food. तो अपने आप सारी आदतें सुधरना चालू हो जाती है, अपनी भी और उनकी भी. So that's another mantra for having healthy habits. So that's habit. Okay. Now, friends and playtime. Yes, children would want to have friends time, playtime, and they will not be allowed to. Okay. I would say ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा you can take them for a walk or cycling when you are along with them, so that you can make sure that social distancing is maintained. But if you just leave your children on their own, it will be very difficult for a child to maintain social distancing or any kind of precautions that needs to be taken. There are now other alternatives to that. What you can do is have them chat with your friends, Zoom call कीजिए, face talk, FaceTime, जो भी है, video calls, have audio calls, video calls, so that they can maintain their friendship and socializing through these means. Okay, and if you're too much concerned, you can ask them to do those calls in front of you. I personally, I allow her to have her private time. She can take. Obviously, I make her accountable for the time she spends. So um, I'm basically presently come down to Saturday half an hour, Sunday half an hour, and Wednesday 15 minutes. How do I come with number? Just feeling, I felt like it, that she should have some socializing time, and I allow her like this. Anyway, now schools are there online, so they are meeting their friends. But they are not able to obviously gossip too much and all that. So I allow her this time. So they can play if video call pay, if they can play in some way. You can try that. So that's presently I have come across. Maybe if you have better ideas, I can consider that. Next is school and homework, and this is going to be a big challenge. I agree. Yeah, for a lot of parents, mainly schools are not happening 100% to start with. Um, Children have difficulty attending class through through Zoom calls, especially younger ones. They would not be able to have that kind of connection and that kind of stability. So we have to kind of write it off, as in we have to lower our expectations there. Yeah, this year schooling is going to be on, or rather there's going to be some compromise, a lot of compromise in schooling. So I would say we have to lower our expectations there. Yeah, don't expect too much from your child if they are young and not able to attend or focus in their class. Okay, teachers will complain. It's their job. We have to give them a listening ear, and at the same time allow your child to be, just give them reminder. It's like a habit, that new habit they have to develop, to sit in front of a screen and try to connect across some people who they cannot even touch. It's difficult. So they will develop that habit over a period of time. And again, the whole media, laptop, there are so many buttons and it does so many things. There's so much to explore. How can I resist? Nothing from a child's perspective. Yeah, it's magic. Yeah, I touch this and this happens, and and I can annoy that person over there in front of me just by touching this. And that person cannot do anything except he keep yelling at me, and it doesn't make any difference to me. So how that child's perspective? It's fun. And if it's mobile, there's even more distractions that mobile can have. So we have to keep these things in mind and remind them again, that this is going to happen. Okay, and at times you will find for elder children, the teacher might even throw them out of the class, and then they have to go through that difficulty. Okay, so the teacher might tell you that I'm going to throw him out of the class, but then you have to make sure that the child sits and completes that chapter. So now you hold them responsible for completing that chapter. Okay, so that's an additional burden that has come for school and homework, where now a lot of follow-up parents will have to do. Okay, and I would say don't beat yourself so much if you are not able to, because already there's not much help at home. And if you target this as well to complete and beat yourself, then your relationship with your child is not going to be, it'll spoil that relationship. So I typically, in a regular environment, I say, tell parents, okay, now you're anyway paying fees to the school, okay, so her education, your child's education and learning is school's responsibility, okay, and let them take care of that responsibility. Let child have that relationship, the learning and education relationship with the school rather than with you, because if you get into that, then you're going to spoil your relationship with the children, with all this task of homework and following things up. um, Children learn, okay, so don't worry too much. We can have another session in terms of how learning happens, and how the about education system and learning and excelling. Someday we can talk about that. I tend to keep schooling and homework and learning on a back seat when it comes to having a parenting relationship with my child. Okay, me having fun with my child is the topmost priority. Okay, and if the school is going to come in between, yeah, then I'm going to keep it aside. So not that it cannot, you can't have that relationship. So I would say, if you really want to have that kind of relationship, get into get into what your child is learning. Okay, the chapter, read those chapter yourself and have that deep conversation. Yeah, I really like this para, I really like this poem, how it rhymes, oh, this 1957, these are the guys I consider as hero, and somehow nothing is written about it. Have that a deep level of engaging discussion with your children. If you want to really get into education of your child, it's more about having relationship rather than trying to achieve a target or reaching somewhere. That moment, enjoying that moment is more important, I would say. And if you really think that your child needs to learn something, I would say have a relationship rather than teaching that thing to the child. Okay, so that's school and homework. See, you're going to have a lot of time with your child in this lockdown. Plus, you don't have help. Plus, you'll be working from home. So make everything count. Okay, if it's homework, use that opportunity to bond with your child. If otherwise, don't get into it. I would say, free yourself, free your child, and you are able to do, your work. Focus on your important things first. Okay. um, so next is TV, gadgets. You have to expose them to laptop and mobile because distance learning is happening, Zoom call is happening. Okay. Uh, I suggest, as far as possible, keep it monitored, as in, have them attend class, in the same room where you are doing your work, if it's possible, as far as or at least, let child have a headphones, you have headphones, you do your work, but you are in the same room, so you at least know that child is attending, or or um, if the instructions whatever the school has given is being followed or not. Okay, so that's one of the thing. And plus, gadgets are not being misused. I tell children, gadgets are tools. Okay, not a toy. uh, ga- uh, Student don't have gadgets. You are either a student or you have a gadget. If you have a gadget, you're not student anymore. If you own, I mean by that. Okay, so children, students should not own a gadget, because it will bring down their potential tremendously, because there's so much of distraction there. It is addictive. It is very difficult to not get distracted. It is going to keep them busy, and for a student, now having that free time is so important. So let them not own the gadget. Let them use it as a tool and keep it away. Okay. If they are playing, just trying something out, settings, and trying different apps, they are playing. So please don't let them play. Okay. Discourage any kind of play or pastime with the gadget. Yeah, let them pass time with any other toy, because it's very addictive. And the thing about addiction is, once your brain makes that connection, okay, it's very it's permanent. Yeah, in fact, most of our brain connections are permanent. Okay, they may fade a little after a while because it's not used, but the moment that kind of association, the moment they will see a mobile, their connection will start activating, and they would want to have that. So best is, don't allow play in gadgets. Yeah, have rationed TV time. Like we have at home 1 hour TV time for our daughter. um, and I again, it's kind of like a habit. I have to remind her, because if I don't remind her, she will just go on and on and on, and then I don't um, uh, see. We a lot of times think that being nice or being truthful and being um, uh, kind is our right. Okay, of our child being right and being truthful and being kind, uh, it's not our right. Okay, it is a child's choice. So don't hold them, okay, because you said so you have to follow. It is their choice. Okay, they will learn through their experiences that what happens when they don't follow through. Okay, that's a discussion for some other day, but I'm suggesting that don't make that mistake, that for a child to be kind, yeah, and help me is our right. Okay, don't hold them for it. Yes, you can hold them for being, for following the hygiene. Yeah. Not for the, so they will yes, 1 hour ration time, but it's my it's not really my first choice, but I'm following it because you said so, and the child would want to continue. So so just remind them. Okay, sit with them, remind them to switch it off. um, they would not want to switch it off that easily. So what I suggest is, get involved in what child is watching. Okay, and so you can talk about it when you want to switch it off. The, wow, भीम ने आज ऐसा किया. Okay, भीम को इतना ताकत कहाँ से आता है? Yeah, so you should know all these things. Why Bhim is so powerful? Why suddenly he can become so powerful? Yeah, but that's how you will connect with your child. Okay, so I would suggest watch things that your child is watching, so you can talk about it, and when it's time to switch off, you can go sit, you talk about that serial, that cartoon first, and remind them, okay, in 5 minutes it's a switch off time. Yeah, child will be more receptive towards it, rather than every day's arguments and fight and 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. So I would say, connect and then get them to switch off, because it's like waking up in the morning. You don't want to, you are in a dream world. Yeah, so best way to wake up a child is go, stroke their head, cuddle with them, so they are little out of their dream, and then yeah, wake up time. So that's how gently, even TV or anything that, the playtime, it needs to be that gentle. Yeah, so that's it. You take care of these things with your children. You have a very good opportunity to spend a lot of time with your children, I would say. So drop all the responsibility part of it, where if it gets heavy because you are busy with so many things, and just focus on staying home, staying safe, and follow hygiene habits. Okay, that can be your focus, number one priority. Rest all is optional. Just have gala time with your children. Okay, so that's it. I think I said too much. uh, yeah, we still have 10 minutes, and we can do question and answers. Yes, you can put your questions in the chat window also if required. I'll just open up the chat. Yeah. Yeah, any questions?
Yes, sir. This is Raghav's father here.
Yeah.
So, how do we kind of encourage our child to, towards attending the class, online class that he has got, and be more attentive there and pay
Yes.
attention?
How old is the child?
3 years old, sir.
Raghav, 3 years old. I too much to expect. I would say have a chat with them as frequently as possible. As in, you can talk about what happened during the class, okay, and just remind them to be more attentive. What child can do to be more attentive? You need to be more action oriented. For child that young, they understand action more than talking and anything else. So you need to tell them that, you tell me what teacher is doing. Okay, what did teacher do? How was she talking? What was her hand gestures? So 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 that child would try to track something with action. Okay, very young children, they actually more kinesthetic when they are very young. Now all of us are, and we want to learn like that. Um, so I would say you can't have too much of expectation from a child to be attentive, but we have to do so. I would say you might want to attend the class with the child, or be there so that you can remind the child to be there, in the class, and ask them, what teacher is doing, what teacher is saying, so that they can go back and get focused, what they are supposed to do. And at night you tell them, no, morning we have the class, so you tell me what happens in the class. Okay, just a reminder, even when the class is not happening, what to expect in the morning, you can tell them.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, just another one. Any insights on mood swings management?
Mood swing management. I, children will be moody. There is we can talk about tantrum management in one of our classes. Just if you can master tantrum management and understanding child's emotion, it would be easier to handle children's mood. But we'll take that discussion some other time. Yeah, tantrum management and acknowledging children's emotions. If you acknowledge child's emotion, it will not take more than 2 minutes for child to come out of that emotion. That's the key, you have to remember. But of course it's a very difficult practice for parents, because we are more result oriented, and we try to think of next step rather than being in that moment with the child with that emotion. So allow child to be moody, be with her negative emotions, rather than trying to take her out of that emotion immediately. I would say Acknowledge her negative emotion by saying, I understand, this might hurt you. I understand this might this might make you angry. Use that language and be with that emotion with the child. That's the key to come out of that emotion quickly. Yeah.
So thank you.
Any other questions? Lockdown parenting challenge. Right. Yeah, good. I think I either confused you or you actually are all good students and understood everything. Yeah, I'm happy. Um, uh, I would say again, coming back to our discussion, good opportunity to be with our children, bond with our children. In fact, when I go in balcony, sometimes I see parents playing with their children on terrace. Some of our bungalows nearby, and it's a wonderful scene. The wonderful opportunity we have got. Of course, there are challenge or or at one front, but there's another opportunity, and when you really surrender to your child by telling something that I really need your cooperation in this, they will come through good. Try that, rather than thinking that child doing this is our right. Yeah. So I would say, change that mode, surrender to them, and they would follow through. Yeah. Okay. These guys, we are wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad to hear, Prerna, that you are able to bond with your children, during this lockdown. And yeah, I would say, try to drop as many responsibility as possible that will give you some free time, and that will help you bond with your children, right? Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. We'll meet next time. I'm thinking we can talk about gadgets and children next time. Any other suggestions if you have? I would just remind you, if you're new and you're not part of the group, leave your name and number in chat window. I will add you to our group so that you are updated with of these recordings and other webinars. Next webinar that's coming up. Next Saturday we'll talk about children and gadgets. Unless someone has some better idea. Yeah. So Varsha Didi, you're saying even after reminders, things don't happen, so I get irritated. Shout sometimes. Now this is typically because we are so busy and we want to get things done. Okay. I would say lower your expectations and just work on reminders. So I'll just quickly talk about this reminder thing. Okay. I have 2 minutes. So for an adult to get any habit, it takes 66 days of, it's an average 66 days. Some take more, some take less, but typically it is, the sweet spot is 66 days of everyday practice without failing. You practice something every day and that becomes your habit. Now this is for an adult, okay, where our brain development is complete. Yeah. I'm not saying don't try to do this with your child. I would say try to do this with your child. Okay. That means every day, same time, give them that same reminder. Okay. So morning, when they wake up, every day, give them reminder. Okay. First thing is brush your teeth. Every day for 66 days continuously. Okay. Now, obviously, children, 66 days might not be applicable for children. So it might take more. Yeah, maybe 365 days. But If you do that continuously, they will definitely get into that habit. Now, yeah, I was going to talk about this chart. So I would suggest you can make a chart, yeah, but child is not going to look at that chart because they don't have habit of looking at the chart. So suggestion is you have these three anchors: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay, or if you have four, fine, snacks time. Uh, every time before you eat, tell child to go through the chart, and so it is your responsibility to hold child that unless they go through the chart, they will not eat. Okay, so quickly go through the chart, see what's not done, quickly finish that and come. Yeah, keep those things, keep the items in the chart minimum, give them reminder every day before eating. Do that continuously for more than 66 days and see you will definitely getting things improved. Okay, so with that, I'll close the discussion for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next Saturday. Till then, happy parenting.